Ladies and gentlemen, after 11 years, Escape from Tarkov is almost to its official 1.0 release. But until then, we are fixing to get a wipe unlike any other. Hardcore.
Yeah, boy.
1.0 is a day that hardcore Tarkov fans have been looking forward to for a long time, a bittersweet moment when we may actually escape Tarkov after all. Now, we're still a little bit off from 1.0. That is scheduled to be later this year. We'll go over the timeline again shortly, but the last patch is scheduled to be released sometime in August. So you're looking at the last quarter of the year, sometime between September and December. However, until then, we are getting a little bit different of a wipe this time around. July is the next scheduled wipe. That is going to be patch 16.8. Before we get there, we have got just a tiny little bit of information about what this hardcore wipe is fixing to look like. Now, not a ton has been released yet. This tweet was actually posted to the Tarkov Twitter account on July 1st, so only about, well, actually a day ago. This is brand new, and all they've posted is this photo here. So all it says is hardcore wipe, extra challenging wipe. As if Tarkov wasn't already challenging enough, it's gonna be hardcore and it's gonna be even more challenging. So all they have released up to this point is increased item requirements for hideout zones. Hideout zones don't require found in raid items. That almost in a way seems a little bit easier. Limited hideout ammo crafts, reduced spawn chance of rare loot. Now, on the surface, I'm not 100% sure how much more difficult this is actually going to make the game for the average player. Again, I'm talking about the casual player when I say this, because one of the more monotonous and tedious things to try to achieve in Tarkov is a highly leveled up hideout. Now, if you're not a Tarkov veteran and Tarkov is not something you're used to, the hideout might not even be something you really ever open or even look at. I mean, it took me probably until like my third or fourth wipe before I even cared about the hideout at all. Now, for those who are well versed in Tarkov, you know how powerful and important that the hideout can be in terms of crafting medication, food, drinks, ammo, various things of that nature. So I could see in that regard, a lot of this seems to be centered around the hideout specifically, at least on the surface. That's all they've shared thus far. But for the casual player, I would imagine that if it's mostly hideout oriented, it probably won't change the nature of the game much, since most people who are involved in Tarkov on a limited basis aren't going to spend a lot of time in the hideout. We'll just have to see. There's bound to be way more to this than just that. The extra challenging white portion with the little skull, I'm not sure what that's going to mean. I noticed that one of the maps already had that by it, so it could mean that the map difficulty as far as the AI on the map are fixing to get a lot harder. Maybe there's going to be new bosses, or bosses are going to be more difficult. The boss rotation is going to be more prominent, higher chances of them spawning. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see there. Now, as it stands now, we are on patch 16.7. That has been out for a little while now, just, I don't know, maybe a week or two as far as I know. That's going to be up on the screen here. And there's a variety of improvements that they've gone through, you know, AI-related quality of life, audio, which I guess some people seem to think is better. I haven't really noticed a ton in relation to the audio being significantly better. My thing with Tarkov has always simply been that I think this game is incredible. I think it's one of the best shooters of all time. I think that if Tarkov, and this may or may not happen, I don't know. I don't know if it's a Unity engine limitation. I really don't know. I know there have been talks about migrating to Unreal 5. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. They'd basically just be rebuilding the entire game at that point. But the performance of the game is still the biggest hindrance that Tarkov has. I have a very solid computer, really good hardware. It's not the best of the best, but it's a really powerful machine. I have absolutely no problem running any game I play and multi-streaming with no issues. Tarkov, however, as well as it being like really CPU dependent, just still struggles so much from performance issues, stability, frame rate drops. Now again, there are a lot of people out there who are not going to experience those things. That's just me. but I have a very powerful machine. I've been upgrading my machine for the last 2 or 3 years now. I've got good hardware in there, and I feel like if Tarkov, when we hit 1.0, could solve just the issues with being able to run the game consistently well, Tarkov is but could be one of the best shooters ever made, man. I mean, there's been so many imitators, but there just has been no one that gives you what Tarkov has been able to give you. So jumping in to look at the roadmap again real quick, obviously we're past 16.6 and 16.7. That's what we're on right now. 16.8, however, is supposed to hit this July. So we're in July. This video is going to be published in July. Not exactly sure when in July, probably mid to late July. But that is going to be the last wipe of the game. This patch is going to introduce the hardcore, and that's going to be it, man. I mean, you know, we'll see, but that's going to be it. All that's stated on the roadmap itself, beyond the patch notes we get, of course, which will be much more detailed. Shoreline optimization, ground zero optimization, cumulative fixes, third-person gunshot sound rework, and an in-game event. Obviously, the patch notes are going to contain a lot more information than just that. But then we're going to get a subsequent patch in August, which is just a couple months later. More optimization and expansion, a large-scale in-game event, probably gearing up for the 1.0 release, more cumulative fixes, and quality of life and balancing changes. That's, again, what I think Tarkov needs more than anything else. Quality of life and performance enhancement changes. It's tough when you have to have settings that turn on and off, like a priority mode, like a low texture mode for a map, because it's just so ill optimized. And again, I don't know if that's because it's Unity. I don't know what memory issues and geo and all that, the polygon count that this game has suffered from, still deals with. But, you know, all in all, man, Tarkov is an incredible game. It's an incredible experience. I just wish that the performance was something that could be addressed. That being said, though, Tarkov, again, it's incredible.
Great success.
I got into Tarkov a little later in the life cycle of Tarkov than some of the day, obviously the day ones, but the game, ever since I started playing it, man, I've never played any other game like this game. I've made several videos on Tarkov. The last one I made, a love letter to Tarkov. It's such an incredible experience because there's just nothing else like it. It's such a unique beast, and it really is a beast. So even coming from someone who hasn't been on the bandwagon or been on the train of Tarkov since the early days, I understand how big of a moment it is for this game to finally reach 1.0, because it has accumulated one of the most hardcore fan bases in gaming, especially in the shooter scene. I mean, people live and breathe this game. They're willing to defend it at all costs, go through the ups and downs that this game has gone through, and still continues to command a huge player base, generate millions and millions of dollars. And for a game that's just totally self-published, has its own launcher, its own dedicated marketplace, I mean, that's an incredible feat in this day and age, man. And it's just a testament to what this game has been able to achieve. So it is kind of bittersweet, man. We get 1.0, but where do we go from there? Because that means that Tarkov and the goal of escaping Tarkov and this kind of being a prequel to whatever Battlestate Games wants to do next means that Tarkov may come to an end. And I don't think that'll happen anytime soon. But Battlestate Games has stated before that Tarkov was not their end-all be-all, that there was something else they wanted to do that Tarkov was more or less supposed to be a precursor to. Now, hopefully whatever they do next doesn't take 12 more years, but it's kind of the end of a legendary chapter in gaming. It's the beginning, but it's kind of the end. We'll see what happens with 1.0. I would love to see performance take a huge boost, and overall the game just be a little bit more fluid and stable to play. So as we get more information, guys, I will collect that. I may edit this video if there are no edits in this video stating that I have gathered more information before publishing it. Then that is all I have for now. That's all I've been able to find for now. If you guys have any more information about what specifics may or may not occur in this next upcoming patch, this next upcoming wipe, please let me know. I'm going to be looking out for whatever they post online to see when we can expect it more specifically and what will be in it more specifically. And I'll either make another video or just update this one accordingly. But it's really cool to see a game that's been out for so long and has just become its own world. It's really like nothing else, man. It's not without its fair share of frustration. Believe me, anyone who plays Tarkov knows that it's not as smooth as butter. But it's unlike anything else, man. So to see the game finally hit 1.0 after such a long period of time, and then to just kind of think that, you know, we may sort of hit that highlight, that pinnacle of this game's history and its era and its reign in its own little niche of the gaming world. It's pretty wild, man. I'm excited to see what comes with the wipe. I'm excited to see what comes with 1.0. I'm on the fence about playing the wipe. I almost would rather just wait for 1.0. We'll see. It just depends on what the hardcore wipe actually has in it. But obviously, absolutely, I'm going to be there for 1.0, and it'll be neat to see what these in-game events are. So I'm sure we'll be jumping in plenty enough to get at least a little bit of a taste. Let me guys know what you think about it, how you feel about it, where you think Battle State may go from here, where you think Tarkov may go from here. Are you excited about 1.0? Are you a little sad about 1.0? I think we're probably all in a similar boat there. Thank you guys for watching the video. Throw a like on it. It helps a ton. Subscribe. I'm live 3 days a week, and I'll see you guys online.